Hey guys, how are you? How are you? How are you? So, listen, I decided to share this fully funded fundraising toolkit pre work. This is work that I do with my leaders who are part of my coaching and a part of my programs or one of my masterminds. One of the things that I know that is important is that not only do you have passion for your nonprofit organization, but you also must have a plan. You must have an understanding and clarity around what it is you do, why what you do is important, and the difference of what you do, what that difference is going to look like, right? So, what is a nonprofit organization? A nonprofit organization is an entity, a business. It is a community based um, business whose mission is to make a difference, impact, to change lives, not to do activities, but to really be able to measure change, be able to really identify where there is a need. And your program, through your activities, bring about a difference. That's the impact, right? So, more impact means more funding, means more freedom, means more donors, means more community support, means more cash flow, right? But that starts with the impact. 98% of your donors give because of impact. 98% of your donors give because of impact. So when you make a decision to start a nonprofit, you are making a decision to create, to produce, to perform, to cause a result, okay? And so, for many organizations that start, leaders who are very committed, very passionate, very focused, and dedicated to making a difference, being able to define what that difference will be and what that will look like, how long that will take, how much that will cost, has to go along with it, right? I always say that out of 100 nonprofits, 82 of them will struggle and will close their doors within 2 years. That's a survey that was done in 2016. And I'm sure that number is growing from there. But out of 100, 82 of those organizations will close their doors because of lack of money. Now, if 98% of your donors give because of impact, let me say that again. If 98% of your donors give because of impact, then it is because of the impact message, right? Donors give because of impact, not activity. And I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it until the 18 out of the 100 finally say, okay, Jen, what you're telling me is true. Now, if you guys can look at your organization, you can say, I started my organization, I'm passionate, I'm committed, I love what I do. We are dedicated. We have a lot of passion, but we don't have any money. We don't have any money. Well, why don't you have any money? Well, no one will fund it. Why won't they fund it? Right? Because if in fact your organization is meeting a need, why would they not fund the need that is being met? If in fact your organization is providing a service that is essential, then you should be able to speak to what's at stake if your organization does not exist. Now, I believe that every organization that has started, there is an impact message. I believe that, right? And having worked with thousands of organizations nationally and internationally, it's the impact message, it's the clarity of the leader that has to be able to articulate, speak to your donors, speak to your businesses, speak to your funders, speak to your community, speak to your collaborators. And if all you're speaking to are the people who are in your program, the people who are in your program are not your donors. They are not the ones that you are soliciting or support or who will support your cause. All right. So there's two levels of impact. There's the program impact, and then there's the impact message. And you've got to be clear about what it is that you do. More impact means more funding. How do you get more funding? That means you got to share more impact. How do you get more impact? You begin to share the change, the result, the transformation that your organization has provided. Now, what makes me an expert in this is that I have worked in the nonprofit. I've worked in every position in the nonprofit. My entire career has been in the nonprofit, growing, starting, sustaining organizations nationally, internationally, working for some of the top name brand organizations like American Red Cross, Girl Scouts of the USA, United Negro College Fund, Black AIDS Institute. Um, I could go on. I could literally go on. Um, NAACP, having worked in, been a part of um, growing and sustaining them, and having raised money in small areas like Hot Coffee, Mississippi, or the Appalachians of Tennessee, or the Indian reservations in the Dakotas, or raising money for Africa, for Dubai, raising money for the Dominican, Puerto Rico. Okay. So being able to raise money is not the problem. Articulating the impact is the problem. Again, 98% of your donors give because of impact. And there are three reasons that organizations do not have money. Okay. Money is not the root. Money is a fruit, not the root. Money is a fruit. So at the root of not being able to raise money for any organization, it is one, the donor, the leader does not have a strategic plan. Not just the strategic plan of how to start their nonprofit, but even the strategic plan of how to bring about awareness to their nonprofit. The strategic plan of who to put on their team, how to lead their board, right? Many of you have board members who've never been board members of a nonprofit, who've never been a board member of a startup nonprofit. Let's start there, right? Who've been a part of an organization that is just getting started. Many of the people that you all have gotten on your boards have been a part of organizations that were already started, that already had things in place, that already had systems in place. It's like going into a job. And when you go into your job, they give you a key, they tell you what the password is, they give you the binder of all of the employee benefits and things that are already in place. But you all who are starting your nonprofit, just starting your nonprofit, you now need to strategically surround yourselves with individuals who understand the commitment, the passion, the strategy of success. Okay. So you want to be able to make sure that that strategic plan is in place, strategic conversation, strategic communication, strategic branding, strategic marketing, strategic donors, strategic reaching to your donors, right? So organizations that do not have money don't have a strategic plan. You're not moving in a plan. You're moving like on a gut, or you're looking it through Google to see what someone else is doing in someplace else, right? That's not strategy. That is not something that says these are the keys, these are the actions, these are the steps, these are the outcomes that we can expect. All right. So because of that, we don't have money. We're spinning our wheels. We're going around doing a lot of activity, but not really producing an expected result. All right. The number two reason is because we don't know how to articulate impact. Now, I see a lot of what you all are doing. You're talking about your activities, you're talking about your functions, but are you tying it into impact? Are you inviting, engaging, informing, inspiring, educating those who don't know you? Right? You're speaking to the people who know you, but are they giving to you? If they're not giving to you, then you've got to grow that knowledge base. You've got to grow that audience of people who know about what you do, who then would believe in what you do, and then would support what you do. Right? So you've got to do that again. That goes back to number one, but you've got to be able to articulate why and what is it that they're supporting? What is it that they're supporting? Impact is what they support. So you've got to be able to articulate. You've got to be able to show that. You've got to be able to say that. And articulating impact is not the word impact. Articulating impact is not the word impact, right? You're talking about the change, the result. If 98% of your funders across the board, this is just a basic number that is provable as, in the fundraising world, right? We've got to move on strategy. As a professional fundraiser, our job is to move according to strategy. We don't have time. It's within our job description that we've got to raise a certain amount of money. So we can't be guessing at this thing. It's our job to raise this money. That means there is a system. That means there is a strategy. That means that there are steps to success of articulating impact. And that's what I'm trying to help you guys understand, right? Because I really want to help you become that 18%. I want you all to become that leader of the 18%, right? The organization can only go as high as the leader. That's the number three reason that organizations struggle with money, is that the leader doesn't know what to do. The leader doesn't know what to do first. They're stuck. They don't know how to get unstuck. They're not clear about what's next, okay? Your funders, which ties into your money, your funders are very clear. Your funders are very clear. Your donors are very clear. They're very clear on what impact looks like to them. They're very clear on making sure that they are supporting organizations that are led with clarity, led with transparency, led professionally with their money. You guys are very much the same, right? So in my trainings, in my classes, in my offerings, and in working with me as a coach, my goal is to raise the knowledge base, the capacity, is to really position you all to be that 18%, to be that 18% of those organizations that are able to sustain and maintain. I can tell you that when I was working for the Black AIDS Institute back in 2003, 2004, one of the things that I noticed, having worked with American Red Cross, having worked with Girl Scouts of the USA, having worked with other organizations who have hired me to be their executive coach or to work within their organization to raise money, and I've done that for thousands. That was my job. One of the things that I noticed is that the difference between those organizations that were fully funded, the only difference was that they had the knowledge, they had the tools, they had the resources, they had the systems in place. Now, those that are just starting out and who refuse to get that knowledge, who do not or hesitate to get that training and coaching, you're already going to be a part of the 82%. And I don't want to, there's no way around it. There is just no way around it. In this competitive field, there are more nonprofits now than there ever has been, okay? And the nonprofit role is so essential. Did you know that the nonprofit is the third largest employer? The nonprofit is the third largest employer. Behind retail and technology is the nonprofit, the public service sector. Why? Because we do the work that businesses cannot do and that government cannot do. All right. So it is important and essential that our community trusts us, that our donors trust us. And what brings about trust is the impact, our ability to share and to show that what they're doing is really making a difference. Okay. So I created about 3 years ago this whole fully funded goal. My goal was to help 1,000 nonprofits become fully funded. Now, that really is a part of the leader that says, Jen, I need a coach. I need to know what I don't know. And I need to put in place that one strategic plan and articulation of impact. Now, those are people who just feel like I can wing this thing, I can do this on my own. That's not how businesses run. Businesses that are successful, they have a leader, they have the capacity, they have the knowledge of how to function within that business. And so I created this fully funded toolkit because I wanted leaders to really understand what it takes, what is needed, what is required for any organization to be able to raise the money on a sustained basis, right? On a sustained basis. I need you to hear me. On a sustained basis. That means you have the ability to raise this money every single month. The organizations that have been around for centuries and for decades have been around. Why? Because they have money, multiple streams of money, not just one stream of money, multiple streams of money. They've got grants, they've got donors, they've got major donors, they've got sponsors, they've got in-kind contributions, they've got products and services, they've got resources that they have planned for, that they have put systems in place to get every single month. That's how you pay salaries. That's how you pay your light bill. That's how you pay for gas. That's how you pay for all of the things that are essential to operate your business. If you are not operating in that format, then just know you're a part of the 82%. I hate to tell you, but it's the truth. All right. I hate to tell you, but it's the truth. Somebody's got to tell you. Somebody's got to tell you the truth. That's my job. Okay. That's my job to tell you the truth. Okay. Now, the 18%, those that say, Jen, I've got a passion, but I need a plan. I need knowledge. I need to know what it is that I don't know, right? We know what we know. We know what we know. We might know what we think we don't know, but we don't know what we don't know. And many of you are operating and struggling because you're not willing or have not yet sought what you don't know, right? And for most, it's those three things. Nonprofits struggle only for those three reasons. Only for those three reasons. One, There is no strategic plan to get the funding, no strategic plan to get more funding, no strategic plan to get more awareness, no strategic plan to grow a team, no strategic plan on how to maintain what you started, no strategic plan on how to duplicate your services, no strategic plan on how to market and brand your organization within your community to bring about awareness, to bring about confidence and trust, and then support. Okay, that's number one. Number two, articulating impact to the various audiences, right? Those that have experience in what you do, those who are passionate with you, those who believe that the challenges that you are addressing are important, those that would support you because they have the resources or the connections. So there's various reasons why people would support your work, and being able to speak to those various reasons is how you articulate our impact. All right. Speaking to those various reasons is how you articulate impact. All right. And then the number three reason is that the leader who is passionate, but not knowledgeable, passionate, but not knowledgeable, passionate, but does not have the, courage to ask for help, right? The leader is the lid. The leader is the lid. If the leader is a 4, the organization is going to be a 3. If the leader is a 4, the organization is going to be a 3. The organization can never outpace or outgrow the leader. So if the leader says, I know what I don't know, but I don't want to learn what I don't know, then the organization is not going to have any money. Right? Money is not hiding. There is no shortage of money. Again, the nonprofit industry is the 3rd largest employer. Trillions, almost $4 trillion come into the nonprofit every single year. All right. And so in order for you to be competitive, it's not based on religion. It's not based on your race. It is based on your business mindset. It is based upon your business mindset and your ability to run a business with somebody else's money. Now, let's just say that. Okay, that you don't get to take somebody else's money, not know how to run the business, to run your passion, but not able to give them what they support. Why would they support your organization? They would love to support your organization. Why? Because we provide impact, we provide change, and we provide the difference. Okay, and being able to quantify that, have that conversation, be compelling in our language, is what's going to build trust. It's going to build knowledge and lead to more funding. All right. So I created this toolkit because I wanted to share with those who have invested in themselves how to respond. Okay. And so I created this template, and this is what I'm making available to everyone, if you all would like it. Okay. Why did you start your nonprofit? Okay, these are simple questions that all of you should be able to answer. And these are questions that you should be able to answer to anyone having a conversation about your organization. All right, what did you do to prepare yourself to become a strong nonprofit leader? These are relevant answers and questions that your funder is going to say and want to talk about, right? That you want to garner trust, you want to garner their confidence, you want to garner their enthusiasm. And so being able to respond and answer these questions are really going to help you be more knowledgeable, be more informed, be more confident in your conversations with people that you currently do not know. I know for many of you, you feel like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what they expect me to. This is what they want to hear. They want to build a knowledge and a trust and a confidence in you because you're asking them for their money. Right? So we want to be very direct and specific and clear. Now, you guys can go to a whole lot of training and they're going to tell you a whole lot of fluff, but this right here is what they want to know. Who is your target audience, right? And from the community's perspective, not your perspective, from the community's perspective, what needs does your program address? Not from your perspective, right? But from a community perspective. And the community is of people that are not in your program, right? You serve a community of people who come into your program. They're part of your day-to-day program, be it 3 months, 6 months, a year, however long it is. But the community that supports it, Those are the people who are not in your program. So from the community perspective, what needs does your program address? Okay, and these are the languages and these is the articulation that I help you as leaders to be able to share with your prospects, help you identify who are your ideal prospects, who are the people in your community that are who are prospective donors, prospective supporters, right? You're not running around as if you're trying to guess at this thing. This is a very targeted, focused conversation, okay? That for what perspective or what segment of the community would want there to be success from your program, then you speak to those people, all right? And that's what I help my leaders realize and understand. From the target population perspective, right? So now you got the community perspective. Now from the target population perspective, list 5 areas of need your program addresses, okay? These, again, are conversations that you want to be able to have out in the community, that you're talking about from the perspective of the community. This is what it is that we're doing to improve the community. But in relations to the needs of the people who are in your program, once these needs have been met and addressed by your program, they're no longer going to be a need. That you now are going to be able to tell your program participants, your community supporters, what it is that you are addressing and what those participants are going to look like once they leave your program. All right. And then you're able to say, what are 3 of the 4 areas of program impact that you will be able to measure and evaluate? This is you being able to say to your donors, your supporters, that because of you, this is how we've been able to change. This is percentage of what people have been able to be improved. Very much, giving them the outcomes, or letting them know how you evaluate your success. Again, you're using their money, that you owe it to them to tell them how you are going to measure your success, right? You're using their resources. So that's an important way to not, I don't want to say that's an important way to bridge and to build and to establish a foundation of trust, a foundation of clarity. And once they see the evidence that what you're doing is working, that what you do is making a difference, then they want to continue to support that, right? They want to support what is working. They want to support what is making a difference. And I always say, activity is not impact. Activity is not impact. Activity is not impact, okay? Activity is not impact. So I create this pre-work because this is where you all begin to strategize. You begin to think. You begin to put on paper and making your vision plain. Many of you all have great passion, but you have no clear vision on how to accomplish it. You've got great passion, but you have no clear vision on how to accomplish it. Just in these, just being able to address the community's perspective, on then you are able to say, what are the segments within my community that would be most interested in the success of our program? Now you have a targeted list, right? And now you're able to speak to that targeted list based upon their interest in seeing your organization succeed. Now you're not going to them talking about what you want to do. You're going to them talking about what you, in agreement with them, is important, and how in the support of your program, it's going to be beneficial to you and to them, right? So being clear about who your community is, what part or what segment of the audience they make up, is really going to help you become very, very focused, very target, very strategic in your approach and your conversations to them. All right. Then it helps you identify also, what is your program budget based upon what the needs are of the people who are in your program, based upon what they're going to look like when they leave your program. Then you should be able to put together a budget of what is that going to cost to deliver these program services, to bring about the solution, the change, the effect of this audience. Also, what is it going to take to run the organization? Again, many of you have a passion, many of you are very committed, but your vision is not plain. And without that vision being made plain, then you may be struggling with how to bring clarity to your board, bring direction to your board, giving them key and essential steps and benchmarks that you as an organization are going to want to meet. And then how comfortable are you with fundraising, right? If you are not comfortable with fundraising, then you've got to find somebody who is, because without the funding, then you're not able to grow your organization. Without the funding, that means you don't have the community support. That means you don't have the community buy-in. And quite frankly, if you were going to fund it by yourself, you didn't need to have a 501c3 for that. If you were going to start it and fund it by yourself, you did not need to have a 501c3. All right. Now, if you're a foundation and that's what you do, that you create these programs and you fund it out of your own pocket, that's a choice. That is definitely your choice. But if you created your organization to get the support, the buy-in, the resources that are available to other organizations to support your great work, then these are some things that you're going to really have to put in place. Because again, you're not the only one seeking money, but you are one that can be top of mind. You are the one that that can create the many ways of raising money for your organization. Again, there are anywhere between 7 to 10, possibly 12 streams of income for your organization. All right, 12 streams of income for your organization. List how many ways are you currently raising money for your organization. And if it's one and you are the only one, then again, we're left at the place of, one, I don't have a strategic plan. I don't know how to articulate impact. And I, as the leader, don't know what I don't know. And I am forced to do it by myself. And that is not what a community-based organization is about. You are an organization that serves the community, that gets the support from the community, that impacts the community. All right. And you're actually hurting yourself if you don't have this knowledge, because when you're up against other grant funders who are looking to see what is your budget, they're looking to see who is within your community that supports you, and you don't have anyone, it really makes it look like you then aren't essential, right? You're not meeting a need, because again, your organization is in place to meet a need. All right. And what is your strength as a nonprofit leader? What is your weakness as a nonprofit leader? And list the top 5 questions that um, you have regarding fully funding your nonprofit organization. All right, what are the 5 things? Most people want to know about, how do I get grants? Most people want to know, what about fundraising? Most people want to know, how do I get a board? Most people want to know, can I get paid? Right? All of those questions are answered on the 3 reasons that nonprofit organizations fail. 1, do I have a strategic plan on funding? If you don't have that, then that answers the questions about grants, that answers the questions about even your board being a part of fundraising, that answers the questions about why you don't have resources now, or partners and collaborators, and all of those things. So we go back to those three ways, right? So those 3 reasons: don't have a strategic plan, not able to articulate impact, and myself as the leader, yourself as the leader, who needs knowledge, who needs information, who needs a coach, right? So you all are at a place now, and this is a major crossroads as we go into the second half of this year. And you can examine yourself and assess where you are in your knowledge and your clarity and your plan and your vision, and it being made plain. That if in fact it has not been made plain, and if in fact you've not been able to, or to move your organization forward, then I invite you to take a look at these questions. I invite you to take a look at these questions. I invite you to answer these questions. And if you are so inclined to work with me, or to get on my calendar to talk about it, then I invite you to do that as well. All right, I invite you to do that as well. So I'm offering this PDF for $9. You can download this PDF. You can answer the questions, and then I want to invite you to get on my calendar and let's go over the questions. Let's look at where you are. Let's look at what you were able to answer and what you might need some direction on. And let's get you fully funded. Let's get you in a mindset of being fully funded. Many of you are in the mindset of, you can't be funded, no one will fund you, you've got to do everything on yourself, and that's how you're leading your organization. But in order for your organization to grow, in order for your organization to be sustainable, in order for your organization to really be able to make a difference, then I want you to know that you as the leader are the ones that set strategic plan. You are the leader that sets the impact messaging. That's all within your role. And you are also the one that has the knowledge to lead and to grow your program and your organization. All right. So you as a leader are responsible for having clarity. You as a leader are responsible for managing the resources and even achieving those resources that come into your program. And I believe, now listen, guys, I'm not talking to you from a place of, I hope this works. This is all I've done. I've raised hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars for organizations of all sizes in all parts of the world, in all parts of the country, in every state of the United, internationally as well. This is what I do as a professional fundraiser. And I want you to be that 18%, that leader that is leading an organization with vision, with clarity, with knowledge, and being able to go into any room and sit at any table and to be able to speak confidently, not just about your passion, but about your impact. To be able to speak confidently about what's at stake if your organization does not exist. To be able to speak confidently about why investing in your business and in your nonprofit is the right decision from those within your community. All right. This is what I do. This is what I want to help you to do. And all you have to do is just, make a decision, right? At the end of the day, if you would like to download this, if you would like a copy of this, then I'm happy to send it to you. It's $9, and you get on my calendar once you've completed it, and let's go over it and let's see where you can go, where you should be thinking and strategizing. And let's make this year, the rest of this year, strategic. Let's make the rest of this year focused. Let's make the rest of this year about making your vision, your strategy, your plan plain so that others within your organization can help you run with it. All right. Guys, I am your nonprofit expert, over 30, almost 40 years of experience doing this work. I really am the best. I am the best. I am very serious about your success, and I'm looking forward to working with those of you who aspire to be the 18% of organizations that start, that grow, and that are sustainable to serve and to meet the needs of your community. All right. Your community deserves it, and so do you. I want you guys to have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to hearing from you. Put your comments down below if this something resonated with you, if there's something that really helped you in some way. I'd love to hear your feedback, and I want you guys to have a great day.